All right, hey guys, appreciate y'all doing this walkthrough with me. Let's start with paddles. So the paddles that I do carry here, I'm gonna carry Carlisle, Backwater Assassin, Bending Branches, Aquabound, and Werner. They're gonna range in price from your simple $65 for just your regular run-of-the-mill beginner style paddle, all the way up to our high-end Kamanos, Calistes, any of your carbon fiber, full carbon fiber paddles that range anywhere in upwards of $500. So it really kind of depends on how much you want to spend for it. If I was going to recommend any paddles of the ones that I have in stock right now, I would definitely have to go with the Bending Branches Angler Pro. You're gonna have the T700 carbon fiber shaft, as well as the fiberglass laid blades. These are fantastic paddles, especially for the price. You're gonna have this paddle for a long time.
So Andy, these paddles, out of all these paddles, they're all available online at austincanoeandkayak.com.
That's correct. They are all going to be available online. Anything you see here on this wall, you can also find on our online store. Moving on to that, I've got a full wall of PFDs. I've got kid PFDs, I've got women specific, and I've got unisex. I've also got fishing jackets. For the women, I highly suggest Stolquist Cruiser.
So tell us what's specific about the Stolquist Cruiser.
It's just the cut.
The cut.
The cut of it, it's gonna form a little bit more to their body.
Let's say I'm gonna buy one for my wife. This is the one that you recommend. Tell me, why would you recommend this PFD?
So it is gonna have a little bit more feminine color schemes, and what makes it women specific is compared to like the unisex or the fishing models, right here in the chest area, they've taken out some of this foam so that way it adds for a little bit more room around the chest. It's just a little bit more comfortable for the women over just the unisex. You're looking at about $119 for this jacket.
And for the man in her life?
For the man in her life, I would suggest, again, if you're buying a life jacket, you want to come into the store or any of our other stores and you really want to try it on. If you're unable to do that, then I would just gauge it off of what size shirt or jacket you may wear. So small, medium, you'd want to look at a small, medium jacket, and so on and so forth. For the unisex / men, I highly suggest looking at the NRS Chinook. This is a super popular jacket. The fact that I have 4 Chinooks on my wall right now is actually pretty surprising. They go real fast.
Andy, I understand that online a lot of the accessories are just flying off the shelves at the warehouse and they're having a hard time keeping stock in, but I hear they've stocked back up for the holidays. Show us some of the accessories that ACK carries and that people will be able to purchase online or in the store.
Absolutely. So if we just go over here to our fishing section, Gerber. So I have Neat Freaks, I have suspensions and suspensions NXTs. I have
hot for the holidays.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Always great stocking stuff.
This was completely packed full, and we've kind of had to condense it down because it is a hot item right now. Moving on to Yak Attack, I am getting more in. This looks really good for what it has been. Trust me, it has been slow trying to get in some inventory. But I've still got the gear tracks. I've got some more of the backing plates. I've even got the Mighty Mount XL tracks, which is it's gonna be a little bit wider base. Very good track, especially for the plastic tracks.
Guys, Scotty has been in the game for a long
very long time.
They've rarely had to modify their product because it's just been a tried and true solution for mounting on kayaks. And I can't say enough about it. What about you?
I love Scotty. That's what I rigged out my first kayak with, was all Scotty, because it's simple and it's affordable. That was my two things going into it: simple and affordable.
So if you were going to buy something for, let's say, a cousin or an uncle that's a brand new kayaker, and you wanted to buy them something, Scotty, what would be the first thing you would buy?
Well, the first thing that I would look into would probably be a rod holder. Super simple. It's only $18.95, and no matter what you're throwing, as long as you're not throwing a huge, gigantic reel, anything offshore, this is going to hold 90% of the rods out there. This is going to hold spinning, casting, setting it just right with the right size arbor. You can even set a fly rod in. Got some Railblazer. Again, I'm a huge fan of Railblazer too. I think that they do make a good quality item. Now the difference between this and Scotty as far as materials, no difference. It's all HDC, which is high density composite. So it's basically going to be the same material, just with a little bit different layout. Now, this, for instance, this is the Rod Holder 2. This is the rod holder they've had for probably the longest.
And their mounts are called the
Starport mount. Yep, this is the Starport mount. You can have it as a round mount. I don't have any of the HD mounts by themselves, but I do have it right here. So this is the HD mount. It's going to be pretty much the same as a Scotty deck mount. So if you have a square area or somewhere that a round mount cannot fit, then you can put on the HD mount and be able to mount your products that way. Completely sold out of all of the GoPro adapters, Camera Boom 600s, anything like that.
Everybody wants to be a YouTube star right now.
That's right. Everybody wants to be able to film, and Railblazer does, in that aspect, make it very simple.
So I promised we wouldn't skip over the Yak gear, guys. Yak gear, as you see up there, the kayak rigging headquarters, pretty much anything and everything that you would want to rig a kayak.
Yes.
Yak gear carries. We don't even really need to go into specifics because it's everything from nuts and bolts all the way up to hatches and rod holders.
Yep. And I mean, they've got anything from the electronics cover kit. They have hark and pulley kits, drain plug kits, drip ring kits, literally anything and everything that you do need to rig the kayak. That's why Kayak Rigging HQ. And this amount of stuff that we've got right here is about a fraction of what we normally carry as far as Yak gear goes. Yak gear probably should extend almost this entire wall with all the products that they have.
All right, so no doubt, Andy, that Hobie is one of the more popular brands of paddle sports that exist in the United States and all over the world. And you guys carry multitude of product from Hobie. Tell us what you've got here in the store and what's available online or at some of the other locations.
A small fraction of what normally I would carry with Hobie. The Hobie through-hole wiring kit. Now, I know it seems like a very specific item, and it is. So what this is a port so that your electronic wires for your fish finder, any electronics that you want to run on your boat, you can run this through the plastic, and you can pick whichever of these grommets that fit your wire. They'll fit into this hole right here, and then on the back there is a nut right here. So you drill a inch size hole, this whole piece will go in there, then you take this nut, you put it up against there, and it sits nice and flush. I've never had an issue with someone having these right here. And I've put these on Wilderness Systems, Ocean Kayak, Hobie, pretty much any boat. Guys, I suggest these.
Stop DIYing your electronics through your plastic. Just go ahead and get the Hobie kit and you'll be set. No leaks, no muss, no fuss. Behind you, deck pad kits, man.
Deck pad kits, yep.
If there's ever a way to pimp your ride, it's definitely a deck pad kit.
Absolutely. Made by Marine Mat. They are cut by Marine Mat. They're packaged by Hobie, and Like for instance, this one right here, it's gonna say Hobie on it. So it's packaged by them. It fits that specific boat. It comes in 3 color schemes. This one, for instance, is titanium over blue. So it means, if you look right here, it means you would have titanium right here, and then blue would be your outline.
We've walked around the store, talked about a lot of the things that are available to buyers via the internet or maybe another store, another location. Talk to us about all the different brands of kayaks that you guys carry, because obviously, I mean, I'm looking at some pretty cool stuff right here.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me start by saying the kayaks that we do carry are going to be, and this I'm just going to rattle them off the top of my head: Hobie, Ocean Kayak, Wilderness Systems, Old Town, Crescent, Feel Free, Riot, Native Watercraft, Perception, Palhana, Novacraft Canoe. I mean, it just absolute tons. Those are the only ones I can rattle off that fast.
So Andy, specific to the Austin Canoe and Kayak store here at Texas Ski Ranch, it's a little bit unique location, a little bit.
That's correct.
Unique style of store, as we've got, you know, tons of kayaks, canoes, and things like that. But there's something special here. Wakeboarding.
So absolutely. So wakeboarding, skiing, wake surf. This is specific for the Texas Ski Ranch location. You're not going to be able to find these products online, and you're not going to be able to find them at any of our other 4 stores. Comp Vest, which is just going to be very similar to a life jacket, only it's not going to be Coast Guard approved. So you can use these at like a cable park, like what we have here, but you wouldn't be able to want to use these behind the boat. Now, if you are using one behind the boat, we do sell the Coast Guard approved wakeboarding jackets. These are going to be our boat boards right here. And some of these are park models. The difference between a boat board and a park model, really, without spending a whole lot of time on it, is going to be the fins.
So we've got wakeboards, surf wake,
yep,
skis.
Skis, I have O'Brien and Hyperlight Radar. As far as the wakeboards, wake surf goes, I carry Ronix, Liquid Force, O'Neill, and Slingshot.
Sure, if you're wakeboarding, you gotta have wakeboarding boots.
Yep. I sell the boots and I sell the bindings. I also sell hardware to go with it to mount the boots and bindings to the boards themselves. Really, again, it just if you are interested in doing that, I would suggest coming in, get a boot fitting, get a board fitting, and we can kind of walk you through the process. These are our Slingshot park boards. So these, like I can show you, these are park boards, so they're very smooth all the way down. Right now, for a board, say for instance like this one, this is a Slingshot park board. These are going for 40% off.
40% off, guys. Now, tell me, how do you think you can hide that from your kid underneath the tree for Christmas Day so that they don't know what it is? I mean, you're going to have to put it in a box at least twice as big.
At least.
So within the name itself, Austin Canoe and Kayak, you can't just talk about kayaks, wakeboards, paddle boards, you know, things like that without bringing in the actual canoes, man.
Correct. This is where kayaking started from. You know, I've got, believe 6 canoes right now. The vast majority of what I have is Novacraft. It's a Canadian company. Very, very high quality, handmade, super lightweight. This is a Prospector 17-foot tandem, and this one doesn't have the details on it, but this one I bet you weighs about 35 pounds.
Wow, 35 pounds.
Yeah, for a 17-foot tandem watercraft.
That's pretty light.
Pretty light. I have a Novacraft Fox 14. This is going to be a single 14-foot canoe. The Old Town Next, which is a fantastic
I've
canoe.
actually thought about getting into one of these to fish out of.
So I have fished out of one of these and I love it. It's probably one of my favorite boats. It's going to be just like a canoe, designed like a canoe, secondary stability like a canoe, but you're going to have that seat in there. You paddle this either with a single blade canoe paddle, or you can paddle it with a kayak paddle, and it paddles just like a kayak. The last boat that I have here hanging is the Novacraft Prospector 16. This is another material, we call it SP3. It's not fiberglass, it's going to be a little bit more durable, and it's going to bring that price down significantly. This is Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Mike is our wake mannequin. He just kind of hangs out, and he's a terrible employee. He just stands there and does nothing.